Sleep is an essential element of human survival. If you don't sleep, you're gonna die. If you don't sleep enough, you're gonna die early. If you live in a city and for whatever reason you find yourself without shelter, you're going to realize sooner rather than later that sleeping on the concrete is not as comfortable as it seems. Whether you're sleeping on the street, on the sidewalk, or in an alley, under a bridge, or just on the ground somewhere, you're going to need some kind of padding, and if it gets cold, you're going to need some kind of insulation. And that's what we're going to talk about in this video. If you find yourself in a survival situation, it's almost inevitable that you're going to have to sleep on the ground at some juncture. And if you hope to achieve, some semblance of comfort in doing so, there's some basic equipment you need to have prepared in advance to ensure that you get some kind of sleep. One of the first items that I recommend strongly, get one of these, put it in your survival kit, put it in your bug out bag, have it, is a thermal blanket. So we're not talking like a blanket on your bed. So this looks almost like a tarp that you get at the hardware store to throw over your lumber or something like that, but it's not really, it's quite different than that. So you have a thermally reflective coating on this. So this acts as a pretty fair thermal insulation barrier, and it acts as a really good moisture barrier. So if you're going to be sleeping on the ground, the very first thing you lay down is something like this. Just go get one. They're not very much. I think I maybe paid 10, 15 bucks for this top. So lay this down first, put your sleeping bag or whatever you're going to sleep in on top of that. Don't put your sleeping, your bed and your blankets or your sleeping bag directly on the ground. You're going to be cold and you're going to be wet. So also, this has a lot of utility. One of the things it can be used for is a windbreak. Like right now we have some serious wind picking up behind us. It's ice cold wind. It's June, almost July in Montana, and it is freezing cold right now. That wind is bitter. We can wrap this around us as a thermal blanket. If you had nothing else to use at night, at the very least, you could use this for survival. You can string it up between a couple of trees. It's a great windbreak. If you didn't have a shelter, it serves as a pretty fair, tent as well. These are waterproof, so there's a lot of utility. Just go get one. Snag one somewhere. I'm not recommending any particular brand, but this one has served me well. It's been on quite a few camping trips and still holding up quite nicely. All right, let's go find a place to sleep. So, in case you haven't noticed yet, Mother Nature doesn't really make a very comfortable bed. So even if you find a place in the woods, or even in like a park, on the grass in a park, it might look flat, but you find out really fast that when you lie down, it's not as flat as it seems. So aside from having some kind of insulation under you, so we already showed you this fantastic little device. So of course I'm going to do this in a tent, but I'm going to show you out here so it's easier for you to see. So you lay out your moisture and thermal barrier down first. And here's something that I like to have. Throw it in your survival kit. I bring an extra one of these on the camp just in case. This is a tiny little air mattress. Now I'm not even going to show you the brand because I don't want to pitch a particular brand. Frankly, I bought all kinds of these and I've never met one. I mean, never bought one that I thought, wow, that's fantastic. This is the one for me. So they don't weigh very much. Doesn't take very much to blow them up. You can blow that up with your mouth in 5 minutes, easy. Plug it off. It provides some comfort, some cushion between you and that root or rock that's sticking in your rib. But frankly, it's pretty anemic, and I don't care what brand it is. I've seen them huffing and puffing about how theirs is the finest, and I've slapped down thousands of dollars buying these things, and I never found one that I was truly impressed with. Okay, but it's a good backup. It's the size of a soda can. You can throw it in a bag. You throw it in the backpack as just some ancillary item, and you have something just in case. All right, now on this particular hike, the main padding I'm going to use, I'm trying for the first time, is a yoga mat. Yoga. Yeah, look at that. It comes when you call it. So this is just like a yoga mat. This is a super thick yoga mat. This is an inch thick. Man, that is luxury, dude. That's luxury. It looks big. That's what she said. But it doesn't weigh much. I'd say you have 3.5 pounds tops there. Nothing. On the bottom of my backpack. Unless you're going through, if you're bushwhacking, you wouldn't want to carry this around. But again, throw something like this in your survival kit, you will have a much better sleep if you have that under you. I promise. All right. Now,
maybe promise, because you don't know yet.
Okay.
We'll find out.
Now, Steve has a different philosophy altogether. Steve has decided not to sleep on the ground. He wants to eliminate this as a variable from his sleep situation. If he's going to be surviving in the wild, he doesn't want to sleep on the ground. What a wimp. Yep. So Steve, show us what you got. And by that I mean for sleeping.
Oh, here, let me, yep. All right, I've got my hammock. I've got a tarp. This traps in the heat really well, keeps the rain off you. This is a luxury item, pillow. I don't need it. I could use anything. I could use my shoes for a pillow if I wanted, but it's a luxury item. And this guy is my blanket. This is rated down to about 10 degrees. I've got a knit hat in here. I've got long johns for both upper and lower, and a winter coat in here, as well as gloves right here. So if it's getting down to 0 degrees, I'm going to stay fairly warm with all that. I've tested it down to -5, and this is the thermal portion of the hammock is the inflatable mattress of it, and that's rated down to, I believe, 10 degrees as well. So this is the hammock setup.